what happened? You say what happened?
God go arrest APC people.
Direct.
They really God. Why they carry hungry beat people? God go arrest all of them one by one. They're not go have peace.
Amen.
They're not go have peace for Nigeria.
Amen.
I think they use to boost Nigeria. That's what God go use to boost.
Sweep them out. Very correct. You say if you see anybody who wear APC tag for neck, what you go do?
That's why we are APC post up already. God, I go come out put for one corner.
Direct.
After the talk say, make it hungry with them. That's how God go to turn the hungry for them.
Back to sender with that.
Back to sender. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
God go.
Kindly subscribe to YouTube channel and follow on Facebook page at Dr. Zabby's Talk Show.
This is Aburu Primary School, Ewato, Esan Southeast Local Government, Edo State. As you can take a look, children are writing on the floor. You know, you see, they use a slab to lie down. You know, they don't have a single chair. Look at the blackboard. Look at the blackboard. You see children on the floor. We are calling on the Edo State Government, State Universal Education Board, SUBEB, to please come to the aid of Aburu Primary School, Ewato. They need chairs, and as well, they need teachers. These children are the futures of tomorrow. So if they continue like this, I don't think we will have the next generations. Please.
Mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí wípé a kú ojú ọjọ́ ṣeré. Mo kí ẹ̀yin ìyá, mo kí ẹ̀yin bàbá, mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n, mo kí àbúrò. Èmi ọmọ yín náà ni o, àyè ọpẹ́ yọ, ṣó yọ lọ́dọ̀ títí yín náà. Now, fídíò àwọn bàbá wa yìí, brother wa yìí tí mo fẹ́ gbé wá yìí, tí ò ní gbà wá lákòókò. Àní kẹ́ mọ ẹwà àwa ọmọ Yorùbá, àwa ọmọ aládé. Kẹ́ mọ irú ìfẹ́, irú àyè, irú ayọ̀ ọkàn tí Elédùmarè tó jogún fún wa. Tí Elédùmarè tó jogún fún wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọlọ́mọdé tí ò bá bá tàn, wọ́n ló máa bá àrọ́bá. Àrọ́bá òun ni bàbá ìtàn. Àrọ́bá òun ni bàbá ìtàn. Ìyá mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àtàbúrò mi, àrọ́bá òun ni bàbá ìtàn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìwọ tó ò bá gbọ́ délẹ̀délẹ̀, ọ̀rọ̀ tí brọ́dà wa yìí ń sọ kò ní ní ìtumọ̀ fún ẹ, torí ẹ̀ ló máa fà á tí mi ò ní jẹ́ kí fídíò yẹn kó pọ̀ bó ṣe lè hùn kó mọ́.
I'm making this video with a heavy heart. I'm a Nigerian motorcyclist who has traveled on a motorcycle to 20 countries. I applied for a Guinness World Record for the longest solo motorcycle journey in Africa by a woman. Normally, it takes about 12 to 20 weeks to get a response, but because I didn't want to wait so long to confirm if my dreams are valid, I decided to go for the priority application, which is $1,000. 3 days later, they rejected my application. They gave 2 reasons for the rejection. 1, they said the record doesn't exist, that they don't recognize it as a Guinness World Record title. 2, they said my journey wasn't personal and I have to apply through the business consultation service. Then I replied to them. I showed them 3 people who are already holding this record they say doesn't exist. The only difference now is that I am African. I also proved beyond doubt that I am doing this 100% solo and self-funded. When they replied again, I was so hopeful. But I was met with another rejection. No explanation, just a push to pay the £10,000 for a business consultation service. If I was rejected because I don't qualify, that would make sense and I would accept it gracefully. But I was rejected because I couldn't afford to pay £10,000, which is over 20 million naira, for a service that my journey doesn't even qualify for. In their own website, they stated that the only people who qualify for business consultation are government agencies and charity. But my journey doesn't fall under any of those categories, and I proved it. Then I requested a refund as there was no valid reason why I was being rejected. The next morning when I logged into my account, it was totally erased. Like I never even applied. Like it never existed. Like I don't exist. For a moment, it broke me. I felt unworthy, undeserving, like my story doesn't matter. But my story does, because I have survived and done the impossible. I lost my legs, lived on a wheelchair, did surgery, and now I ride with screws and rods holding my spinal cord together. And still, as a new rider, I picked up a bike and I've done 20 African countries alone on a 250cc motorcycle. I inspire myself every day. I am amazed at how far I've come. No one in the world has my story. So if they won't write my legacy, I'll write it myself. I will still do season 3. A ride from South Africa to Kenya to complete the longest solo motorcycle journey in Africa by a woman. Except this time, I'll be doing it for a purpose. I'll be riding to raise funds for African female orphans like me. I've also created a new movement, a legacy platform for Africans by Africans. And I'll announce it on my birthday in 2 days. Thank you.
So we want to discuss something very important. I've had a lot of people ask me questions around it. I think many homes are now experiencing it, and so they just want to know how to go about it. And we want to know how we should take it, what we should even understand by it. In fact, does Ifa talk about homosexuality at all, whether directly or indirectly?
This is a very, very serious and delicate topic in our community today. So let me remove this thing to show you how serious this really is. And yeah, I for one, I've been asked this question a lot of times. Last time I was in Mexico, while I was in Spain. And I've always been given the same reply, the same response. Yes, Ifa talks about homosexuality in different odus. We have it in Ogundaufun. We also have it in another odu, Irosun Irete. And different odus. And at the end of the day, you realize that they have different odus, but it's still and also in Irosun Wari. So they have similar and almost the same verse, almost the same Ifa verse that talks about them. But one thing that we really need to understand is that we do not have homosexuality in Yoruba culture. It is not. It was never part of our culture. So a man and a man having sexual intercourse or coming together to be husband and husband, or two women coming together is not in our culture. It is alien to us. But yes, Ifa talks about it in some Odu.
So what is Ifa's stand regarding it? Yes, I understand you have said it's not in our culture, but what is Ifa's own explicit position regarding homosexuality?
When we want to talk about Ifa's stand on homosexuality, I am going to cite one example first, before we now talk about what Ifa said. So when Ifa, let's be honest with each other, Ifa had practically talked about everything that is happening today, that will happen tomorrow, and all of that. But how does Ifa talks about it? When Ifa wanted to talk about polygamy, I think you've used it in one of your videos. It was beautiful. So Ifa will tell you this thing. It is because at the end of the day, if our religion is not like the Christian and all of that, I will tell you, this is not dogmatic. It is some forces that is pushing you to do something wrong, and it is the God that is pushing you to do something right. No, in Ifa we believe every action and in action you took those actions because you want to take them. You were aware. Were you not aware?
Ifa just tells you what is involved.
If I just tell you, if you take this part, this is the solution. This is the result. This is the repercussion. For example, Oyakumeji, ọ̀kan ṣoṣo poro lóbìnrin dùn mọ́ lọ́wọ́. If I said, if you want to enjoy your life as a man, and if you want your wife to enjoy her life too, you should have just one wife. But if I now further, tó bá di méjì, tó bá di mẹ́ta, adẹ̀tàntúlé, tó bá di mẹ́rin, adìgbà tó rin mi mú rí ọ, tó bá di márùn. If I now further explain that even if you have up to 5, 6, it will turn to wickedness. They will start fighting each other. They will start blaming themselves. Why is our husband having more women? And there will be chaos. Oromila had more than 16 wives. In all of the stories of Chunfunleyo, this and that. So it is explained that there are choices. And at the end of the day, even those choices that if I said, this is wrong, some people will still make that choice. They will choose it because that is their own life. It is destiny. And sometimes you cannot change destiny. So this now brings us back to homosexuality. What does Ifa say about homosexuality? Ifa gave different instances. Ifa says that Epo dun jeshu, Ikete dun jefo, Obìnrin ṣe básunjọkùnrin lọ. Epo dun jeshu, it is convenient for you to use roasted yam.
Those are the compatible,
to
combinations.
Eat palm oil. Ifa is always speaking in parables. And if you are wise, you will pick whichever one is good for you. Ikete dun jefo, Obìnrin ṣe básunjọkùnrin lọ. Tó bá dúró, ọláyùngbá. Tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀, ọláyùngbá. Tó bá tàkàkà, those ones are too. But if you understand Yoruba. You know what those means? So Ifa is explaining the enjoyment, the fun, the beautifulness that will come from a man and a woman having sexual intercourse. Ifa now further explain again. Tí ọkùnrin bá ń bá ọkùnrin sùn, bí ìkookò, bí eéwo, bí ẹni fẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lùgìrì. Imagine you face the wall now and you start punching. You imagine the inconveniency, the pain and everything. That is how Ifa explain when two men are having sexual intercourse. If I now further again, tí obìnrin bá ń bá obìnrin sùn, bí ẹrọ̀fọ̀, bí ẹpẹ̀tẹ̀, bí àgbáàrín, bí ikú ni mọ̀ ń ṣe wọ́n.
Wow.
And if you look at it today, we have people who, through all of this practice, the contact different kind of. So, but if I now explain all of that, if I now hand it to Adria Oromila, Baba Nlọ Gbe Iya Alaka Niyawo, if I now end it with the fact that Oromila was going to marry a beautiful woman as a man. So, if I will not tell you, I forbid anybody from practicing this kind of, no. Because at the end of the day, everybody will have their choice to choose from.
But just know what is involved.
But just know what's involved and the stand of Ifa. And one thing I always also make people understand is that it is not in Yoruba culture. We've never had it in Yoruba culture.
Okay, so, well, you've made that very abundantly clear. But is it possible that we had people who were like that, even in those times, even in the ancient times? Is it possible that they were, even though maybe they couldn't come out, they couldn't, is it possible? But because today we have people who claim that they genuinely are not attracted to the opposite sex. Yeah. That's how they are. It's not like they are influenced or something. Naturally, they are not just attracted to the opposite sex. So, is it possible that we had that in our societies, even in the times of yore?
So, according to some people's belief, some people believe that as much as we have Ifa verses that talks about this thing, maybe wrong or right, that means people would have been practicing it at that time for Ifa to make mention of it. I don't know. Apart from this verse, I've never heard any other verse that talks about, Adria Oromila, Baba fall in love, Pelu Shongo, or, I've never had any kind of verse like that explain that, a man and a man, two men fall in love with each other. No.
It is interesting that you mentioned Shongo. Good. Because, many people who are of the position that homosexuality is not wrong, they would cite the example of Shongo, and they would say Shongo was a cross-dresser. Shongo also dressed like a woman. Shongo wore yeri, Shongo dishuku, Shongo, and that is like a reason, that's like an argument, to justify what they do. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí Babalawo, kílẹ̀ lè sọ fún wa nípa ìyẹn.
So, as a Babalawo, and also as a Yoruba person, and also as an historian, let me explain to you today. that in Yoruba land, Shokoto was not part of our dressing. The ancient Yoruba way of dressing it is not Shokoto. I'm saying this categorically.
Wow.
As time goes, Yoruba culture is a very flexible culture that, with time, we tend to accept things, just like we have in our language, all of these alubosa, alafia. Alafia now is now being used in Ifa and all of that, but they were never your original Yoruba words. So, and that is how we have Shokoto also. Shokoto, Agbada, they were not Yoruba clothes. The mode of dressing of the Yoruba people one is Pakaja. Yes. So we Pakaja. We now have different kind of fabrics for you to use that will show any omole agbole leyin ara won oba niyen. So we have different fabric that they wear. So when you now say Shango is cross-dressing, back in those days,
that was the norm. It was the usual way of dressing.
So back then, all of those clothes, men also tie wrapper. Some men do pakaja and all of that. We also have different kind of Irundidi also. Everybody knows in the family of the Shango worshippers, that is how they do. Shango as a person, if you look at the history of Shango, Shango was fashionista. Always loved to take care of himself. And even in some stories of Shango, some even claimed that it was when Shango met Oya that he started plaiting his hair. Because Oya loves to do that, and they use that to also bond as husband and wife. And that is how Oya will be the one to even start Shango down and plait the hair and all of that. So dressing does not signify our sexuality. It does not say anything about, Shango had like 4 wives. Shango was, one of Shango's wives is Oshun, also Oba, and before Oya. So, just because someone chose to dress somehow does not mean their sexuality should be questioned or something.
Now, we have homosexuality, right? We also have homophobia. If we say that homosexuality is not in our culture, what about homophobia? How does Ifa advise, if it is a situation that I have somebody now who is gay, how do I treat that person? Is there a way I can treat that person that, according to Ifa, will be wrong? Should I victimize those people? And if I don't victimize them, should I accept them? If I don't accept, what exactly do I do according to Ifa? Is homophobia supported?
Homophobia is never and will never be supported in Ifa in any way. Because Ifa itself as a religion is not homophobic. Ifa does not discriminate or segregate against anybody. And that is why you will see, if you look at the way the Yoruba religion is structured, we have Olodumare, the supreme being. And under Olodumare, we have different Iromole Orisha. And each of these Orisha has their own specific area of specialization. And you will not see Shango worshippers come and lay claim of superiority on Olobatala worshippers. So there is flexible, it's very, very balanced. And that is why you will not see us also say, some people practice or they do something like this, and for that reason, we have to fight them. We don't do jihad, we don't do crusade, we don't do whatever, anything like that. So we have nothing against anybody. So Ifa does not in any way discriminate or support that you have to victimize those who choose to be a certain way. Because it does not go with our own culture. Does not mean
tí bá jẹ́ òbí tọmọ mi bá ń tọ ìlànà yẹn gẹ́gẹ́ bí òbí, kí ni mo lè ṣe?
Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ Ifá la máa ń dá fún gbogbo nǹkan tiwa. Mo rúbọ fún èèyàn kan ní ọ̀sẹ̀, ó ti ń lọ ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta báyìí. Like 3 weeks ago, I did a ẹbọ rírú for someone whose son said he wants to become a woman. And if you look at it, in that Odu, the Odu even talks about it. In indirectly talks about it. And we did the above, we did everything, we keep our hope high that maybe something is going to change. So that is one way we tackle this kind of thing. When we realize, a boy decided, I want to become this, I want to become that. It has never been part of our own way of life. So it is just new thing that we are now looking for new measures to find a way around it. So we consult.
But one thing is sure, it is an anomaly.
No, it is not normal. It is not normal.
Okay, now, kini àwọn olóyìnbó á pè nǹkan ní therapy. What are some therapeutic methods found in Ifa that can help whoever is a victim of this and wants to get out of it, genuinely wants to get out of it? Is there, gẹ́gẹ́ bí Babalawo, is there something you can prescribe, or do this, and maybe that will help you, to get out of that situation?
In Ifa practice, counseling, going for therapy and all of that had always been part of our practice. It is today that people only based all of this thing on Edafa. Let's consult Ifa, let's offer Ebo. I have been able, to talk to a lot of people who do not even need consultation, divination at all. Because they just need someone to talk to. And it is in Ifa. Ifa said it also. Imara, Laa-Laa To Lo Oke. Seek advice from someone, from a man, or from the Babalawo before you seek the advice from Ifa.
Because you may not need the divination after all.
So when you come and you realize that this thing that is wrong with me, is something that I can actually talk to someone about, and you went to meet the Babalawo, I want to discuss some things with you. These are the things that has been going wrong. These are the things that have been going on with my life, with my this, with my that. The Babalawo will now tell you, and in some way, sometimes, maybe you are doing this thing wrong and all of that. If you now realize that this matter is not something I can really talk you out of, let us consult. That's when they will now. So, if we have someone like that, you do not, as a Babalawo or as Onisheshi that we are in Yoruba culture, we are not supposed to victimize them. We are not even supposed to judge. Call the person. Listen to them. Whether we like it or not, some people, there is nothing you can do. Because even they themselves, it is not because they wish to be like that. Just happen naturally, genuinely. It wasn't out of choice for them. They just, someone can just wake up and realize, as a woman, I don't feel attracted to a man. So if it's something you can talk to them about, you start asking questions. Why? What happened? I have met a lot of people that it was true trauma.
I was going to say that. I was going to let us conclude with that. Okay. Yes, I know that there are some people that, it's natural. But I have known people that it's after maybe some traumatic experience, some heartbreak, and then they just went that route. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí Babalawo, gẹ́gẹ́ bí onímọ̀ Ifá, kí lẹ lè sọ bí ọ̀rọ̀ ìyànjú fún àwọn èèyàn báyẹn, people that are homosexuals today as a result of traumatic experiences.
Okay. And there is a verse in the Father explained to us that tá a bá jadùn títí, tá a bá jẹ kúrò díẹ̀, ayé á máa sú ní jẹ. So, you see, if you are a follower of Ifa and you understand the teaching of Ifa very well, I think you will get to a stage where a lot of things will not get to you. Because immediately it happens, you just remember. So it is balance. If I already said it, you cannot have a good life for a very long time and not have some hiccups. So Ifa is already preparing us. Anything can happen tomorrow. So you just be eating sugar all the time. That is the truth. Too much sweetness can kill. Too much sadness can kill. It should be balanced. So when something happens to us, Not having people around to confide in also will make those people box the feeling. They'll box it in. And when they box it in, it will continue to grow into some kind of hatred. And that is what will lead to, as a woman, I don't want to have anything to do with men. Never again. If the person has asked someone to talk to earlier on, when it's up. And this is because our society also, we are not helping.
We are too judgmental. We are too judgmental.
We are not, everyone comes out to talk about what's wrong with them. Okay, I don't want to mention it. One is trending right now that we all know. Go to TikTok and see the kind of comments under this boy's post. And it's sad. It is, lion has now given birth to goats, this and that. It is sad. That's the kind of society that we are in right now. We want to have something to judge. We all, and I want to judge here. So we need to create a safe environment for everybody. Everybody. So whatever you choose to be, there is a way out. That's the thing. That's what we should be telling people. And whether we like it or not, some people cannot change, no matter what you tell them.
You have the responsibility of loving them regardless.
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. You have to love them. Whether you like it or not, they are still humans. And I always tell them, does this person's sexuality or whatever they chose to be, does it affect you?
I mean, it's not harming you.
Does it harm you? Does it pose any threat to your existence? So why are you so bothered? Why are you so ready to tear them down?
Of what good would that be to you?
I don't know. So, and that is why I always tell people, whatever you choose to be, I have no problem with it. Those that come my way, if I can talk to you, try to counsel you, I will do. If it is too late, we are friends. We are good. There's nothing, it spoils nothing. What I am always against is people trying to say, but it has been part of Yoruba culture. I will not take that. Just, please take it back. It has never been part of our culture.
So while we have the responsibility of loving people regardless of who they are, we should not go as far as now incorporating it into say, okay,
just because you want to, we accept it and all of that does not mean
we can't rewrite history.
Trying to say, because Shango dress a certain way. Whereas even back in those days, we don't dress this way. Men do not wear shokoto. We do not understand what shokoto, the word. Break down the word shokoto. That is it. So, we Yoruba people have a culture of openness. We are always open. We are accepting, and that is why till today it is a big blessing for us, and to some extent it is also a curse. So,
ọ̀rọ̀ náà máa yé wa. Kẹ́rí ìdí tí àwọn ìran wa ta ṣe kó sí inú nǹkan tá a kó sí. Kò gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn kan bọ́n ṣe ń sọ wípé ṣe bí àwọn bàbá wa ń gbà náà lọ́hùn. Wọ́n rí wípé tiwa ò dáa lọ́n ṣe embrace, lọ́n ṣe gba èyí tó dáa. Kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìfẹ́ náà ló sì wà lára wa títí di bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Àwa nífẹ̀ẹ́ onílé, a nífẹ̀ẹ́ àlejò. Kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìyá mi, bàbá mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àti àbúrò mi.
When you see our judges dressing, they still dress like Father Christmas. Whoever told us that justice could only be administered when you dress like Father Christmas, I do not know. And when we are citing, even deciding a matter on land law in Ghana, in Cape Coast, we still want to cite some decision that was made by some English judge in the 13th century, as if we did not have our own land laws. We live in a world where we are so mentally captured that those of you in the middle class, your greatest claim to fame is that my daughter can no longer speak Chui and is meant to be a badge of honor. It is a badge of complete colonial conquest. Go to the countries in the Scandinavia, which we can dare compare ourselves with. Go to Denmark, they teach in Danish. Go to Norway, they teach in Norwegian. Go to Sweden, they teach in Swedish. Go to Finland, they teach in Finnish. Go to Korea, they teach in Korean. Go to China, they teach in Chinese. Go to Japan, they teach in Japanese. Then they meet the world. But you and me, here I am waxing eloquent in English, not in Kiswahili. We must revamp our curriculum. And we must have the courage to do so as I speak to you now. They are teaching Yoruba and Twi at universities outside of this continent. Why? Because language is a multi-million-dollar, multi-billion city industry. It is only us who do not know. Those of you who are religiously inclined, we are the only visitors in Jerusalem. And we cannot enter the 21st century with that mindset.
Àní kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ò bá jẹ́ wípé ikú ló bọlá jẹ́ fún àwọn ìran tó ń gbé ẹ̀sìn yẹn tó ń gbé gbogbo ìdààmú yẹn dé wá bá, tó bá jẹ́ wípé wọ́n mọ̀ ni wọn ò ní gbà á níbikíbi táwọn náà bá wà lọ́wọ́ yìí. Mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n wá gé pàbẹnu. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ní apá kan nínú wọn náà á tún máa dúpẹ́ wípé Elédùmarè tún ti gbé àwọn kan dìde tó ń fẹ́ gba ẹ̀san, gba ìpadàbọ̀ fún nǹkan tí wọ́n ti gbà lọ, tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé ìlọ́po òun ni Elédùmarè, òun ló máa fi dá padà wá fún wa. Òun ló fi jẹ́ wípé ọmọdé ń dìde, àgbà ń dìde ń sìn. Báwo ló.
Pick away, tọ̀rọ̀ kùfìà. Pick away, ṣàdánù. Wetin we dey pick na Oyibo waste. Remember that time when we dey primary school now?
Yeah.
They never even born you that time. I'm talking about early 80s. No? Early 80s till 90s when we dey inside primary school now, so we dey pick. All wetin we dey pick that time. Na Oyibo waste o. Na Oyibo waste we dey pick. And when fella say, na Oyibo teach us to carry shit, not be our culture to carry shit. People think say na only shit when they shit comot for yansh. Shit na shit. Bone shit na bone shit. Anything irrelevant, waste na shit. Even bad character sef na shit. Are you understanding me?
Yeah.
Bad character na shit. Okay, now come see. Since then now Oyibo thing we dey pick o. All the old dustbin now, our children with our mama and old papa, dey food there, they pick bottled water, they pick can malt, they pick Oyibo waste. We not dey carry our thing. Come to look at it again in another way. You go carry power bank. Sometimes people get power bank too at the same time. Your earpiece dey with you. Your two phone dey with you. Your gbogbo tigbo dey with you. Your patch when you dey put the Oyibo property dey with you.
Yeah.
Shebi you see some na Oyibo things we dey carry?
Yes.
Because we refuse to carry our own thing. Ẹlẹ́rù gbẹ́rù ẹ̀ lọ́sọ. Wọn ò ní o lọ gbẹ́rù ẹlẹ́rù. You know wetin that one mean for Yoruba?
No.
You want to get load, carry your load. Me, I get my own load, you get your own load. What is now the problem? Why I can't be saying that your own load I go dey carry since the rest of my life? See what we dey carry today now. See what we dey pick. Is it for our benefit? Is it for our own benefit?
No.
Now you both thing with the pick. Now you both thing with the carry. During the ancient Africa, now our own things with the carry. If me and my papa and my mama they come from bush, carry yam, carry cassava. Now from there I go shop. Now from there I go see sell. If me and mama they come from cocoa farm, you know, from cocoa farm. If we carry the cocoa, now there we go shop and now there we go see sell, make money. Abi?
Yeah.
That is our own thing. So we have to buy Africa. You see? Buy the idea of Africa. Buy Africa. If now some other country now this innocent motor we go to buy. That innocent motor now, that motor now all of us supposed to dey buy yo, but because of tribalism and no, like this people, now another motor that they buy, we cannot buy our own thing. Even our idea, the idea, our own knowledge, we will not buy am. Now colonial mentality, Oyibo mentality, now we carry people for brain and mind till they live our life. So, you see? Just imagine now, all the whole Gbogbo Tigbo we they carry for this Africa, not be our own. Now for Oyibo benefit.
Oyibo benefit do they carry?
That is it. Now Oyibo shit we they carry. Now Oyibo shit we they carry. All the whole life when we they live, our daily basis, we live for the benefit of Oyibo. All our life, all our daily basis, how we they live our life, is for the benefit of Oyibo. It's not for our own benefit. It is for Oyibo progress, not our own progress, and we are okay with it. If you talk about our problem, and that's why they say most of these Nigerian citizens, anyhow the system go wrong, they don't care. Now that place that they go. Any wrong activities when this our leadership bring for us, the storm, the suffering, the suffocation we did now, the hunger, the everything. We like her in a religious style because that's how it work. Not do your own thing. That make they say, live her for God, now God go do her. You see, huh? To do your own thing, when go favor you for your own benefit, how you go to enjoy. They say you must not do her more. Live her for God, though. But if you go do am, you go come be like saying, now you sabi pass God. Now God must do am. You see where we dey so? Now there the matter dey so.
Ṣe jẹ́ àmọ́ o. Ìwòye 5 years ago, tán bá lé mi máa sọrú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Màá ní kán bá mi lọ kan onítọ̀hún yẹn, kán bá mi lọ kàn yín yẹn, má gbélébùú ni o. Ìwòye 4 years ago, tán bá ní èmi, mo máa fọwọ́ máa sọ̀yà wípé èmi o, mi ò ṣe ẹ̀sìn kankan, wípé mo nígbàgbọ́ lórí ìran mi. Mo nígbàgbọ́ wípé ìran mi ò kí ń ṣe ìkà. Mo nígbàgbọ́ lórí Elédùmarè. Mi ò mọ̀ o. Tán bá sọ fún mi 4 years ago 5 máa jiyàn, máa ní kó nítọ̀hún yẹn kó lọ hàn pé 1%. Gbogbo àwọn tó dìde ń sìn yín, Christian, Muslim, òun ni wọ́n. Muslim wá pọ̀ ju Christian lọ. Àní tó bá kó gbogbo wa kalẹ̀ báyìí, àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe tán wà nínú wọn. Àlọ́ pé 1% ẹ̀. Kò ń ṣe wípé nǹkan tí mo kà tàbí nǹkan tí mo wò, nǹkan tí mo mọ̀ ni, nǹkan tí mo rí ni, nǹkan tí mo wà láàrin wọn ni, nǹkan tí mo mọ bó ṣe ń lọ ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Think Yorùbá first, ìyá mi, bá mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àtàbúrò mi. Ọ̀rọ̀ ìjà kọ́ leléyìí, ó tiẹ̀ ti ń bá wa jà. Ọ̀rọ̀ ogun kọ́ leléyìí, ó ti kógun dé. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kíkọ́ má pa wá kọ́ leléyìí, wọ́n ti fẹ́ pa wá kọ́ má pa wá tán ló kù. Bọ̀tá bá jọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ronú bákan náà, iṣẹ́ yẹn máa yá. Iṣẹ́ yẹn máa ṣe kí ni? Iṣẹ́ yẹn máa yá. Mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí wípé a kú bójú ọjọ́ ṣe rí. Mo kí ẹ̀yin ìyá, mo kí ẹ̀yin bàbá, mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n, mo kí àbúrò. Èmi ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín. Ayé ọpẹ́ yọ ṣúyọ lọ́dọ̀ títí yín náà ní agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ayé ọpẹ́ á máa yọ fún wa, lórí wa, lórí ọmọ, lórí ìdáwọ́lé wa. Òun láyé ọpẹ́, òun ló máa fi máa yọ. Ìjà kọ́ o, àbá ti jà wá, àdẹ̀bá ti rìkíṣí wá. Kí la bá wá bí òun ṣe wípé báwo la ṣe máa kúrò nínú oko ẹrú? Enough is enough. Ibi tán bá wa dé yìí, ó tó gẹ́, ó ti tó gẹ́. Àṣedànù nínú ìgbésí ayé àwọn ọmọ kóòtù òjíire, ó ti tó gẹ́. Àṣeèrí nínú ìgbésí àwọn ọmọ kóòtù òjíire, ó mà ti tó gẹ́. Ìdùnnú, ayọ̀, ìgbéga ló máa jẹ́ tiwa. Now, ìgbà wo ní àwọn nǹkan yìí? Ìgbà wo la fẹ́ na flag náà sókè? Èmi ò mọ̀. Àkókò wo ni? Èmi ò mọ̀. Aago mélòó ni? Èmi ò mọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, èmi ò mọ̀. Bọ̀ kí ni mo mọ̀? Mo mọ̀ wípé a máa débẹ̀ lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ojú òní tì wá, ọ̀rọ̀ wa dayọ̀. Mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹ má gbàgbé láti bá wa share fídíò yìí. Ẹ má gbàgbé láti bá wa tẹ like. Ẹ dẹ̀ má gbàgbé láti bá wa share ètò yìí. Àwa ò bá jìjà wá, ẹ má fetí ìjà gbọ́. Think Yorùbá first. Ẹ bá wa máa type ẹ̀ sí orí program yìí. Think Yorùbá first. Think Yorùbá first. Ẹ bá wa máa type ẹ̀. Think Yorùbá.
Mo kí gbogbo ojú tí wò mí ti ń gbọ́ mi jákèjádò orígun mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin àgbáyé. Orúkọ mi ni Ambassador Àkànfẹ́ Ìwò tí mo jẹ́ agbẹnusọ fún iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate Herbal International Limited. níléeṣẹ́ wa bì láti màmọ̀ dájú nǹkan kan tí eléyìnbó ń pè ní health is wealth, ìlera lọ́rọ̀. Kì í ṣàfẹnujẹ́ nìkan tá a bá ń gbọ́ ọ̀nì sétí, torí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n ń kojú àìsàn tí a pè ní ìfúnpá gíga. Ìdí nìyí tí iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate Herbal fi ṣètò oògùn ìfúnpá gíga fún ní powder àti ní olómi. Kò tán síbẹ̀, oògùn ìtọ̀ ṣúgà ó wà ní iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate Herbal International Limited ní powder àti ní olómi. Òun náà lẹ̀ ń wò yìí. Oògùn ọ̀pẹ́ ẹ̀yìn wà tí a ti ṣe lọ́jọ̀ fún ẹni tó bá ń kojú ọ̀pẹ́ ẹ̀yìn torí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣòro. Iléeṣẹ́ wa níbí ní oògùn ẹ̀ tó lè bá wọn tán rẹ̀ lójú ọgbọ́n. Bákan náà, ogunlọ́gọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n jẹ́ oníbìísí tí wọ́n ti rora wọn pín wípé Ọlọ́run ò lè ṣe, ṣùgbọ́n tó jẹ́ pé àìsàn kan sómìíràn ní nǹkan di ọmọ bíbí wọn. Ó wà ní iléeṣẹ́ X2 Herbal International Limited fún ìwòsàn fún àwọn oníbìísí. Kò tán síbẹ̀ o, a ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ oògùn tí a ṣe létò fún ẹni tó bá jẹ́ ẹni tó bá ní ikùn gbẹ̀ndù tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀rá ti pọ̀ jù lára ẹ̀, ó máa bá wa burn fat, a pè ní X2 burn fat fún obìnrin àti fún ọkùnrin. Bákan náà, ní iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate Herbal International Limited, a ní egbòogi èyí tá a ṣe ní powder fún ẹni tó bá ń kojú àìsàn stroke. Ó wà ní iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate. Tẹ́ ẹ bá lé èèyàn tó ní lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, ẹ dán wò. Ìjọba lù ú lóǹtẹ̀ fún lílò torí pé ojú dání. Káàkiri ni wọ́n ti mọ̀ wá nílẹ̀ yìí jákèjádò àgbáyé. Kò sí onírúurú àìsàn tàbí àrùn tẹ́ lè máa kojú tí a ní oògùn rẹ̀, egbòogi ẹ̀ tá a ti ṣe lẹ́jọ̀. Torí ẹ̀, àìrìn jìnnà láìra gbúgbé ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ o. 079 0153 tàbí 0806 4000 204. X2 Ultimate Herbal International Limited. Health is wealth. With care, God heals.